The human mind processes over 60,000 thoughts each day. Most flow through us like water through a stream, natural, effortless, purposeful. But for millions of us, those thoughts don't just pass through. They spiral, loop, and multiply until thinking becomes overthinking. What if I said the wrong thing? What if they're angry? What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if they judge me? What if I make the wrong choice? What if? The questions multiply like echoes in a canyon, each one spawning three more. We become archaeologists of our own conversations, digging through every word, every pause, every facial expression, searching for hidden meanings that may not even exist. Overthinking isn't just excessive worry. It's a mental prison where we replay past conversations on endless loop, dissect every interaction under a microscope, and catastrophize future events that may never happen. It's the difference between a gentle rain and a flood. Both involve water, but one nourishes while the other destroys. But why do some minds become trapped in this endless cycle, while others seem to flow freely from thought to thought? Why do some people make decisions quickly and move forward, while others remain paralyzed by possibility? The roots often stretch back to our earliest experiences, planted in childhood soil and watered by years of learned behavior. Children who grew up walking on eggshells, trying to predict and prevent disappointment, learn that thinking harder somehow equals staying safer. They develop an internal belief system that says, if I can just figure out all the angles, if I can just anticipate every possible outcome, I can avoid pain. These children become adults who treat their minds like security systems, constantly scanning for threats, analyzing every social interaction for signs of danger, every decision for potential failure. Perfectionism becomes the soil where overthinking grows. When we believe that every decision must be flawless, every word carefully calculated, every action beyond reproach, our minds become hypervigilant scanners, searching for threats that might not even exist. We develop an exhausting internal committee where every thought must be approved, every feeling justified, every choice defended. The perfectionist overthinker lives in a world where good enough feels like failure, where mistakes feel catastrophic, where being human feels like a character flaw that needs constant correction. Fear of rejection amplifies this pattern like gasoline on fire. We replay conversations searching for hidden meanings, analyze text messages for signs of displeasure, and rehearse future interactions until spontaneity dies. We become detectives of our own social lives, looking for clues that were unwanted, evidence that we've failed, proof that our worst fears about ourselves are true. The overthinker's brain becomes a courtroom where they are simultaneously the prosecutor, the defendant, and the harsh judge, building cases against themselves with evidence that wouldn't hold up under scrutiny. The irony is cruel and precise. The more we think, the less clearly we see. Analysis paralysis sets in like fog, obscuring the very clarity we're desperately seeking. We become so focused on making the right choice that we forget most decisions are reversible, most mistakes are survivable, most consequences are far less severe than our minds predict. We trade our present moment for imaginary futures, our peace for the illusion of preparation, our joy for the false promise of control. Overthinking feeds on the illusion of control. We believe that if we just think hard enough, long enough, analyze deeply enough, we can predict and prevent all negative outcomes. We convince ourselves that worry is preparation, that anxiety is wisdom, that mental rehearsal equals actual readiness. But this is like trying to prevent rain by studying clouds. Some things in life simply cannot be thought into submission. But life is not a chess game where every move can be calculated. It's jazz music, beautiful precisely because it's improvised, unpredictable, alive. The pathway out begins with recognition, not elimination. Notice when your thoughts start spiraling. Feel the physical tension that accompanies mental loops, the tight shoulders, the clenched jaw, the shallow breathing. Your body often knows before your mind does that you've slipped into the overthinking trap. Recognition without judgment is key. Don't shame yourself for overthinking. It developed as a survival mechanism, a way your mind tried to keep you safe. Thank it for its intention, then gently guide it toward more helpful patterns. Set boundaries with your thoughts like you would with an overly talkative neighbor. Schedule worry time. 15 minutes where overthinking is allowed, where you can examine your concerns fully. Then gently redirect your mind when it wanders back to old patterns outside of those designated moments. Practice the art of incompleteness. Send the email without reading it 10 times. Wear the outfit without checking the mirror repeatedly. Choose the restaurant without consulting 5 review sites. Leave conversations without perfectly scripted endings. Let some thoughts remain unfinished. Remember, your first instinct is often your wisest. Your intuition has access to information your conscious mind hasn't even processed yet. It synthesizes years of experience, subtle cues, and pattern recognition in milliseconds, something your analytical mind might take hours to accomplish and still get wrong. Trust the wisdom of your initial response. That gut feeling, that immediate knowing, that first impulse, it's usually pointing you in the right direction, even when it can't explain why. The goal isn't to stop thinking, it's to think purposefully rather than compulsively. To use your mind as a tool rather than letting it use you. To think when thinking serves you, and to rest when thinking becomes repetitive, unproductive, or harmful. Your thoughts are not facts. Your worries are not prophecies. Your worst-case scenarios are not inevitable futures. Your mind is not your master. It is your servant, and like any good employee, it needs clear direction and appropriate boundaries. In a world that rewards overthinking, that confuses busyness with productivity, that mistakes worry for care, choosing mental freedom is a radical act. It's choosing presence over preparation, peace over perfection, being over becoming. Choose it anyway. Choose it especially when it feels risky. Choose it because your life is happening right now, in this moment, not in the endless scenarios playing out in your head. The door to mental freedom is always open. You just have to walk through it.